Hey, Cub fans, it's me, Gandy Cubs, just signing on just after the game. You know, it's super frustrating at times to kind of try to set reasonable expectations on opening day, which I think makes what opening day super hard. And I watched this game with the excitement of opening day, but I also watched this game with just the expectations of Sean and I having gone through the division and the article I wrote for Northside Baseball that came out today about my prediction, and it just stunk. just it just stunk, and yeah, it just this was a weird one to kind of start the year with. There was a lot of weird situations in the game, and it is hard not to feel right now that we didn't just lose the game, we also lost Justin Steele. And that is the thing I'm probably the most concerned about. And that stinks. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure, how to feel about that. And it kind of makes me sad. So I feel like I've kind of started this chat on such a downer, but it really is hard not to think that this is an issue as the Cubs don't have, the robust starting pitching you would hope. And, they don't have, the front end starter that you want to have as we get going in the season. So yeah, it's just hard really not to feel kind of crappy at the moment, which is, no, it's your right to feel crappy. And it's your right to feel sad. And oh man. So I guess, how I'm gonna try to manage it is, take some time to, kind of play some baseball and just go through the motions, I guess, of managing an opening day loss. And that just it just sucks. It just sucks. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure, how to feel about that. And if you have any questions or comments about, what you saw today and want to talk it through, point out moments of the game that, you were frustrated about, what you think I saw in the game. It just it just stinks that we have to sit here and think about this game for the next 48 hours. Man, what a day. What what a day, what a game. And yeah, I'm just disappointed. It's disappointing to watch your, favorite baseball team lose. It's not fun, and I kind of sped to go home to to, try to manage these things. And, I wanted to see as much game as possible. And so, yeah, I'm bummed. I'm bummed. And it is what it is. But yeah, we'll hang out here and, I'll chat as things come to mind about the game. And if we get more people to join us to kind of sit and commiserate on, what happened today and how we're feeling about it. Happy to be that guy for you guys tonight. So, yeah, if you leave some comments in the chat, I'll definitely address them as I see them. Play some Bricks Behind the Ivy Diamond Dynasty tonight. Kind of take the taste out of my mouth for sure of how frustrating that game was. And, hopefully I could take some emotional shots at the Cardinals. It just would be nice. Oh wow, why swing at that? Yeah, the Justin Steele thing. I think I had this classic Cubs fan reaction to Justin Steele getting hurt and pointing out in the article I posted today and discussing with Sean on the pod this week that that Justin Steele, if he goes down, there's depth, for the rotation in some capacity, but he's a hard guy to replicate. And now that we're here in a situation in which Justin Steele is gone, is is potentially going to miss some time. We'll see in the next hopefully 12 hours or so. We'll get some more clarity on what that injury is, but it is hard to sit here and imagine, oh man, pimping a home run. Oh, it's foul. It's like pimping a home run on the Cardinals right now feels really good. Sorry, Cardinals _ live. Sometimes you gotta slap around your rivals when you're down. So I feel like I would be doing Sean kind of a disservice, of um, just like trying to figure out, what the positives are. Like, he's obviously our optimistic Cubs fan. It's this moniker. He's optimistic on our chats about the Cubs. And I think the positive is, this is a very good Rangers team. And I felt like the Cubs came out pretty early. We're hitting some balls hard against Nathan Eovaldi, who is, a very good veteran player. He's got a lot of postseason success. He's a guy you have to kind of come out with a game plan with. So I'm, content that they looked prepared. Not implying last year at times they looked unprepared, but came out. Yeah, and there's just a lot of, things that we'll look at as the season goes on. Small sample size alert. But, this definitely felt like, as some people had commented on Twitter, like one of those classic Craig Counsell games where you're sitting here and we're having a discussion about, like a close game, bullpen deployment. I'm not going to sit here and like audit all of his moves in the first game of the season. He's got to figure out his bullpen. He's got to figure out his guy. He's got to figure out how he's going to deploy these things. Definitely stunk that, Yancy Almonte got absolutely throttled by the lease. Just crushed that ball. Did not like the inside-ish pitch by Adbert that goes to Jankowski. It felt like one of those situations, and not to put this into a microcosm every time about last year, but when it felt like a game you could steal, and I mean that quite literally. They did not belong leading going into the bottom of the ninth. That's a tough save, but they were not just a robust like, swing and miss. Abbott wasn't coming in with that high energy. I mean, he was coming with high energy, but he wasn't coming in and just dominating like you'd want to see. So, yeah, I guess I'm, a little disappointed. Not necessarily in him, but hoping that we could have stole that game away. That would have been great to, steal a game. Also, look at this absolutely terrifying freak show of a player. There's a known glitch in the game right now. Here, we'll show you, in which some of the player models are a little messed up. So yeah, this guy's got a real like witch doctor shrunken head effect going on. But they kept his nose, so a little creepy. If you're trying to go to sleep, not sure how much you're gonna sleep after seeing something like that. But yeah, just a frustrating opening day loss. I, for one, am just, yeah, I'm just down. I'm just down about it. And it's all right to be down. It's all right. I'm telling you guys, it's all right to feel bad. It's okay to not be okay, as I would love to say a decent amount. Mental health is so important. Yeah, it's just baseball season's a marathon, not a sprint. And, getting off to an 0-1 start has happened to so many teams, happens to half of them every year. So it it doesn't feel like anything major. But it's been nice. Obviously the Rangers had their banner raising and some special things going on for their fans. So congrats to them on kind of getting a win on a special night. They had a really big crowd there tonight. Baseball bucket list, friend of the Brooks Behind the Ivy pod. I've been on her pod as well. She was at the game tonight to see the banner and such. So she had messaged me letting me know she was gonna be at the game. So I'm glad she got to see a win for her Rangers, but yeah, it almost feels like, at the expense of my Cubs. Yay! Look, Jordan Walker can't play defense in this game either. It's very realistic. Most realistic baseball sim. We got Andrew Kittredge coming in. He's got a sinker, slider, fastball. But yeah, feel free if you're watching, if you've stopped by, we'll try to do something like this or a quick TikTok post game, most of the season, to kind of get some additional interaction in between each episode of Bricks each week. Comes out on Fridays. Sean and I will be recording on Thursdays as we head into the weekend series for the Cubbies this year. Yeah, definitely just a tough one. Just a frustrating, just a frustrating game. It's nice to see Seiya get a double. It's nice to see, Belly get that RBI. But yeah, it just felt like in some capacity, there's as I ground down here, like I felt like it was like it highlighted some of my concerns to the team. I really just don't want to. I don't want to like expand on this like to such large degree of like a spoiled baby that didn't get what they want for Christmas, because that's what opening day is. It's Christmas, Christmas for baseball fans, and yeah, just seeing Drew Smiley in that situation at the end of the game. Don't love it. He was at times not great out of the bullpen last year. He definitely lost the feel for that pitch, the his curveball, his knuckle curve last year. I did like the idea of him facing Wyatt Langford because there's that kind of opposite rotation thing going on. We almost had another Magic Hotavy pitching moment. He came in, he got that out, and he seemed to kind of find something. Tommy Hotavy still holding on to that reputation of being just an absolutely magical mound visit type of person, which I love to see that. But yeah, just not not what you want to see. And yeah, just that makes me sad. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. I'll be fine, guys. I'm gonna be fine. I'm sure if you're watching this, you're very worried. I'm gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. So, yeah, it just, yeah, you always want to get that first win. If you are watching, I'd head over to Twitch. Twitch is gonna be the main source of where I'm gonna be streaming from. Gonna be sharing the links on all my social media channels. I'm also live on YouTube. Just give it a like, subscribe, so that you're notified when I'm doing these things. Maybe we'll establish a schedule going forward. Right now, it's gonna be a lot of kind of how amped I am post game, and how much I'm writing that going into the evening and how much I want to stay awake. So, yeah, today is just one of those days where I'm gonna be up because I just really really want to see that win today. We didn't get the win. That's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, you really want to get that win on opening day, and yeah, just not live or just did not get the win. Oh man. So yeah, I've been on vacation. I went to Florida with the family for spring break. It was nice to get out and take the kids somewhere and just go see some things down there. We went to like on a dolphin cruise, and yeah, it's been really nice to kind of spend some time with the kids and relax. Definitely not been like in the past a very good vacation person. So that it was nice to kind of take a deep breath and recharge a little bit. But yeah, definitely had to end up recording the episode that released today while on vacation. And after just like when you're committed to starting something, like Sean and I have been trying to get this thing going, you gotta give it a little time. You gotta give a little some breathing room, and you gotta be regular. And that's what we're trying to do, and to kind of be a consistent voice in this space. And yeah, it just takes work. It takes a lot of work. And it's been super fun to kind of get this going. I've had such a good time kind of contributing and sharing my thoughts about the Cubs on a more regular basis. So if you are one of our regular listeners, thank you. We've had a huge amount of support, which has been just super cool. And like it's very early in how we've been doing, and I think we have, I would say, more listens than we had thought we would get. I don't know if we had expectations on what the audience size would be and what that was going to look like. And so far, like, we're just very humbled by what it is. And but I don't know if you guys are paying any attention to the Diamondbacks game, but it is 16-1 in the third inning, and they just put up 14 runs in the bottom of the third. All right, this is good to see. Sarah Sanchez, I'm retweeting this right now, said that Steele sounded more optimistic, and he said he described it as tensing up and not wanting to aggravate it at all. But she did caution that players can tend to be more optimistic while waiting anxiously for these MRI results. So, man. So before we get back to LB the show, let's take a quick look at what happened in this Diamondbacks game, right? Like, that's crazy. Oh, we got Curtis Watches, first time chat. Awesome. No way the Cubs don't go 161 and 1 at highs. Just it looked really good. 6 Ks for it. Yep, I agree with that. Morale 2 hits. 8 of 9 batters got on base. Michael Bush heads up in. Michael Bush, my boyfriend. We're registered at Target. Feel free to get us anything for our future nuptials. Adbert blown save. I think that to me is one of the bigger concerns. And Curtis, if you're still in here, you can, discuss if that's, something that you're worried as well, or if you're not worried about. But yeah, I don't love him coming in and not looking sharp. I did not love that. That was frustrating. I'm looking at I'm gonna look at the data of his outing tonight. Want to see what was his output? Like he just did not seem. Full disclosure, I was watching on some, we'll call them different alternative feeds. I have an MLB.TV subscription and Marquee subscription that I use to watch most of the games, and tonight was on ESPN, which I don't have cable. That's not something that I actively participate in purchasing each year. I'm just mainly a baseball guy, and I have ESPN Plus for some college basketball stuff. But yeah, just kind of cut that out, and yeah, Cubs had 11 total bases, no home runs tonight. Rangers had two. Obviously, I had Elise and Janikowski, the bell don't lie moment, but just frustrating when you think about this off season, and obviously one game, sample size, we still don't know the starters for Saturday or Sunday for the Rangers. But when you go into this off season knowing the Cubs needed slugging, and they're hoping, Bush and Morel being regulars in this lineup increases the slugging, and thank God they brought back Bellinger. And, the other part is, extremely high quality major league starting depth, or another guy to pair in at the front of this rotation. And now with Steele out, those questions immediately come right back to the front of the mind. And yeah, you look at what Adbert did tonight, and it's hard not to be super excited about that. All right, let's see what Adbert. Let's check some exit velocity, some velo. I believe it was a cutter in on Janikowski that he tied the game with. Which, my God, like the first batter. Yeah, 99 exit velocity, 396, 26 launch angle. Not crush, but he went with that pitch. It floated in the middle of the zone. Not what you want to see. He was sitting in that inside spot. It's not a terrible pitch location wise. It's, right on that corner, running in slider. So not a lot on it. Fastball only at like 94. He was very heavy fastball in the first at bat. Evan Carter, another heavy slider. Fastball slider, fastball slider. Yeah, fastball seems to be topping out for Alzolay at like 93. That feels low. Simeon, three sliders. 87 to 80, 85 to 87 range on those. That was the double play on the line out. Wasn't hit very hard. Routine 89.9. Obviously, Lourdes Tavares 88.3. Yeah, he had a fastball that was only 93 miles per hour. And he needs a little more zip. Obviously, he threw a lot of sliders. Thought he had a heavier fastball. Yeah, Curtis, I think you're right. That 8 and 9 on base. That's big. That's getting some guys on base. I did see some. I would say like some. Oh, squabbling is the correct word, but some people frustrated with Nick Madrigal playing tonight, and yeah, I'm very indifferent about Nick Madrigal playing. I think defensively, it'll be interesting to see as things go through. We have a better idea of matchups and different things, and how Council manages that. like I see Nick Madrigal is probably like a fastball hitter, so he's gonna play third base. But in that first game of the year, you're thinking Christopher Morel's probably extra amped, so let him just do the thing that he's really good at, hit the ball, but and not have him have the aspect of the defense. But yeah, it's tough to think, Madrigal doesn't bring a ton offensively, and that is frustrating. I'm not gonna continue to like bang the drum of Matt Chapman shipping on this team, but on the deal he's on, I would have taken Matt Chapman. You get that defensive floor that is comparable at minimum to what Nick Madrigal is, and I'm gonna say is better than Nick Madrigal. He's got better slugging, and it kind of feeds into the other issue that I keep talking about is the lack of strikeout stuff from this rotation. So you're gonna have a lot of balls in play. So you're gonna want your best defense most nights to be what's on the field. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that's managed going forward. It's really hard to. Oh, did we get that? I hope we didn't. We're gonna get a double though. Yeah, that was a nasty pitch to Cooper. I'll agree. That is thought he was gonna be like play like secret agent for the Cubs there and just like finally play to his age and give up some give up some runs and do us a favor. That'd be nice, but yeah, that's not how the world works. People just don't like help you out. But yeah, I mean the another positive is this team went to the World Series last year. The Rangers aren't some pushover baseball team. It would have been nice to get the win today, absolutely, but yeah, they're not a bad baseball team. Up and down, it's a good lineup. Doesn't give you much of a break. And I think the bullpen was deployed. I think it is kind of funny to think about, in the first game of the season when I was talking about covering the seasons that they need to cover or the innings they need to cover in a full season in my article for Northside Baseball, that that kind of comes to its head in the first game of we actually had to cover a whole extra inning in this game. So like there's more innings you're gonna expect to cover. And yeah, I mean early in the game, and it's a classic Council like game. He deployed the bullpen. Hector Neris, got a strikeout. And what was left at the end of the game with Merriweather, Almonte, Leiter, Neris, Alzolay. So you have Smiley and Luke Little, unless I'm missing, and Jose Quas was not used. So I think you try to get Smiley through that inning. You're not trying to push, too many guys late in that game. Maybe you don't want Luke Little in that situation. You're going for a vet, see what he got. So yeah, I would have liked to. I would have liked some runs. But it is what it is. It'll be very frustrating. We'll find out, on Saturday what Kyle Hendricks is, and I'm a big Kyle Hendricks guy. Love Kyle Hendricks and what he brings to the table, what he is as a player, and but yeah, he kind of seemed gassed in later portions of his starts, the last parts of spring. But like he's a veteran, he's probably working on different things, so it just feels like if you want to try to take this first road series, like you got to win that game and kind of come home. You got that Imanaga debut on Monday, which yeah, I think it's so crafty to have Imanaga starting at Wrigley at home and getting that opportunity to kind of pitch comfortably because it's gonna be cold. It's Chicago in April. It's gonna be very cold. Oh, that stunk. Yeah, nickels and dimes out there doing nickel and dime things. Good to see that, it's those are two guys you put in the lineup card, and you know, you sleep very confidently at night knowing they're going to bring something defensively. One thing I'm looking for this year, especially from Nico, is just to step up offensively. He's been a very solid offensive player. He's got a really nice skill set, but I think we need to see a little bit more. I know he worked on kind of changing that level, that like his swing level to try to get a little more elevation in the ball. Yeah, but holy cow, I think Sean had put something on there about like wanting to see the scorecard for tonight. I definitely am gonna want to check that out. I was watching and listening, taking opening day in a way that a lot of people should, with some Pat Hughes and Ronnie Coomer. So I was watching an LB game day and watching the pitches come in and listen to the broadcast from Pat Hughes, and yeah, just that foul tip thing, like holy Moses. I'm a homer of a Cubs fan. Let's not be wrong. I want the Cubs to win more often than not, and that should be a reviewable play. It just absolutely, if you have the stuff to review that play, you should review that play. I don't understand why that feels like such a controversial opinion and how the stuff is implemented. Why would you not want to make sure that every call that you could make correct is correct? Oop. Let's watch that again. Oh, let me replay it. Yeah, I think you're right on those defensive plays. I wonder if they'll change the rule midseason, if they'll talk about that specifically, that foul tip. I love how Jeff Passan like immediately tweeted, he's like, "This is an absolutely awful call." Like, yeah, I agree. Like, I hope the Cubs win. Like, I just wanted to completely reverse that mojo. From last, I felt like we left so many wins on the table last year, so many, and it was very frustrating. And I wanted to start the year with like one of those like, all right, we shouldn't have won that one, but that's a good team, and you got like this one you shouldn't have won in the bank, kind of messing with the Pacoda projections like right off the bat of that you like, oh, you should be 0-1 based on this, but you're 1-0. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, there's just a very big atmosphere for obvious reasons for the Rangers. This reminds me of that 2017 game. Kind of Cubs came out a little tight when they did the ring ceremony, and there was all the pomp and circumstance. Yeah, like Crawley, the guy I got to meet through writing some of the articles on Northside Baseball. He like was one of the ring bearers. Don't know why I swung at that pitch. It's hard to talk and play. But yeah, it was a big atmosphere there tonight, and they brought it. The fans brought it. Good for the fans. Nice moment for the fans. I saw some snarky things on the internet about like, oh, Wrigley fans don't need to be told to cheer, and it's like that's yeah, I know, but baseball fans consume the game so differently, and I'm not going to be one of those people that's kind of digs into a fan base because I sometimes fear that baseball doesn't have the popularity that I would love it to have. It's not. It doesn't. It's not the NFL. It's not the NBA. They're not like, tripping over like different fan opportunities. They don't market the game very well. So I'm just not gonna shit on a team or its fan base for having to be told like, like get people there and have them enjoy their experience. however they come back is on them. Like there shouldn't be this unwritten rule. Wrigley's a very special place, and they've been able to. Love you kick that ball. Come on, Ty. It's a gold fielder. Come on. Like what was wrong with that? It didn't hit hard. Come on. Yeah, it was yeah, just uh, Wrigley's beautiful and historic. I mean, absolutely. You're not gonna find me. Oh yes. Good night. What a play, Haseon Kim. Now Wrigley is different. Wrigley, and it's something that I take a vested interest in. Just curious, like how is that gonna change? Is that going to be like one of those things over the years, as the familial ties, the I don't know, the different things that tie us to the Cubs. Like, I was one of those like theoretical Cradle Cup fans, and I oh cool, another pack, and yeah, I just think that like as Cub fans get older, and things change, and you feel like some of that frustration in the vacuum that is X or Twitter. Like, do how we consume the Cubs, does that change? It'll be interesting. Like, do those traditions, just the way for Wrigley Field, is that maintained? Does it not? I don't know the answer to those questions ultimately, but I'm definitely curious, as if Wrigley retains what it is. Ooh, that's a fair ball. That's a double. Um, yeah, I tend to sometimes agree with you, Curtis, but yeah, I mean, Wrigley has had the luxury of having a full ballpark for a very long time, and if they didn't have that luxury, if they're trying to grow new fans, yeah, maybe you do need to tell people what to do. Like, I think that's weird, but like, I also understand like people just don't stay as engaged in baseball as they should. It's one of those things where like, an exciting moment in a baseball game could be like 3 or 4 times a game. And like that's not how I feel about baseball. Like getting my eyes away from a baseball game is extremely difficult, but yeah, not everybody feels the same way as I do. They like especially Wrigley, like Wrigley's a really fun place to be. Blocky pumps in noise. As the Dom says, like they're giving away tickets with Subway sandwiches and well, our fan base like pays the bill. I do enjoy that take. I'm enjoying hitting off Brady Singer right now. Man, it took me a lot not to pick these guys to win the Central Division for the AL. I think oh boy, I got fun. That was done. But yeah, I ooh, smack that. I hope we have a better showing on Saturday. But at least there's a game Sunday, so it'll just be less of a crappy taste in my mouth. Let's see what we got, Jim Paxton. So my official bricks behind the Ivy um, Diamond Dynasty team. Spent like a lot of time making the jerseys, like an embarrassing amount of time. I have the recording on here on Twitch and on the YouTube channel. Just sat like very patiently working on bricks and had found like someone's blueprint and added the bricks behind the ivy. So I, yeah, just really proud of them. Market anywhere you can, right? That's trying to grow the pod, and Sean and I have lofty goals of kind of creating this podcast, this video podcast, and this network, and what we want to do with it. So if somebody plays me on the show, which I'm happy to play anyone who wants to hop on and send a gamer tag or send me a message. I'm Candid Cubs on PlayStation as well, or like Emily the Show is crossplay. So if you're on Xbox or whatever, or Nintendo Switch, like good luck to you if you're on Nintendo Switch. But yeah, if you want to hop on and play me in the game, happy to do that. Yeah, let me know in the chat. Like, is this something you want to see more of? Like, just sign some casual conversations post game. Is this something you're not that interested in? And of course, always, everywhere you can, like, subscribe, share, tell us we're stupid, tell us you love us, do all those things. Wrigley North on Memorial Day. Wrigley first game at Wrigley North for Craig. Oh, interesting. I did not realize that'll be a packed weekend up there. Man, like that is a weird ballpark. I'm not saying it's a bad ballpark. I have no issues with the structure of the ballpark, but I just felt like it was very weird that I felt like they served alcohol way later than other ballparks I've been to, and it was really weird that like they're like, "Oh, get out. Like please leave. The game's over." And like people were clearly still very drunk and they're like, "Here's your parking lot in your car. Like please drive home." Just was very confused by that concept. Don't understand. Um, so I remember being in the car with some friends and like watching all these people who like could barely walk out with us, like get in a car and like get in line to leave the one exit. It's like this does not feel safe. Whoa, 8 people, damn. Chris, are you in Valpo? Are you do you still live in the Valpo area or do you just go to the Valpo? That might drop. That might drop. Nope. Valpo 2020. Oh man, that is depressingly far after when I went there. I went to Valpo. I'm a Valpo grad from 2011. Yeah, 2011. Holy shit. Does not feel like it was that long ago. Oh my god, yeah, you would be a remote graduate. What was that like? What was it like going to Valpo? Went home for spring break, never went back. Yeah, at least that was only the last semester then. I can't imagine like having like a year and change of that college experience. Like that was like one of my first thoughts when the pandemic had started. Like, oh, nuke. Yeah, one of my first thoughts wasn't oh nuke, but what was your major? Oh, he caught that ball. Okay. All right, let's try to milk some more innings out of Mr. Paxton. Minor in communications. That's a lot of schoolwork. Yeah, technically I was an actuarial science major, a program that's on the chopping block, which as an actuarial science major, that makes a ton of sense to me. They just did not do a very good job of preparing us to actually get jobs. There's only like four of us, and that's fine. It is what it is. Like I had switched majors several times while I was at Valpo and kind of knew what it was. It was the major I could graduate on time with. So like I wasn't that upset about that, but yeah, a lot of changes at Valpo. I don't know how I feel about some of that. Naperville, interesting. Okay, I'm in Tinley Park, south suburbs. Yeah, the I posted something on Facebook about Valpo. I saw the things about the music. I was a musician at Valpo as well, and um, like when I saw like the different programs are on the chopping list, like some of them I understood and some of them I didn't. I obviously like financially things are very different at Valpo. Yeah, the music and faith from yeah that. So I don't know. I'm gonna get my got my weird soapbox. So like I play the cello. I still play the cello, and I played the cello for a very long time. And when I went to Valpo, like I hadn't decided whether I was going to be a music major or not, and I decided late in the process when I was looking at colleges that I didn't want to go to music school because like I had gotten into a relationship in high school and started thinking about like what life looks like for a musician and the financial component of that, just unfortunately, reared its head. It became one of those things where, like, as much as you want to pursue a passion and do those things, like, it just wasn't clear, like, where paychecks were going to come from, how I was going to fund, some of my other goals in life. But yeah, but I also struggle with, like, if you're getting, like, a, like, specific instrument performance major from Valpo, like, let's go specifically cello, like, is that should a school like Valpo, if they're not providing like top tier professors, which they're not, be allowed to offer that program? And like I would even go as far as the actual science program too. If you're not preparing kids to be successful and get jobs like in actual science, there's these exams and this accreditation process that like Valpo did not prepare students for. And like as I left school, the exam process shifted to where like you basically need to graduate with 2 to 3 exams to get a job. And like Valpo just didn't have anyone that was interested enough in the field to be kind of like guiding the program into continuing to hit these marks. So we all graduated and didn't have this ability to get a job because you had schools like U of I and ISU in Illinois that had insurance schools that were like super dialed into the what was needed to get jobs and were teaching these kids the exams, and so some of the classes like their classes were completely structured around the actual exams, so they left school with 3 exams. And so there was just no way to get a job. Nobody was paying kids to study anymore like they did, for the previous, I would say, like 15 years in that profession. So, like, then it's like, well, whose fault is that? Like, when that program like that is on the chopping block, like, like, Valpo has done a disservice by continuing to offer a program that they're not, like, equipped to offer. And then, like, some of the music programs at Valpo, I felt the same way. Like, you had Chris Cock and Maura Cock over there running the chorale that was doing excellent things, but then you had, the music program or the orchestra that was kind of like bleeding and hemorrhaging a little bit. And yeah, like obviously you have the organ there, so like maybe an organ program, but yeah, having these like kind of jack of all trades schools and modern education system, I don't know what the right answer is, and let's like tie another cart to that horse, the athletics issues, and yeah, it's really hard to find. Yeah, I left in the middle of a financial crisis. Um, yeah, and like yeah, Valpo. Like I met my wife at Valpo. I learned so much about myself at Valpo and about like being a person. But and like the person who ended up getting me a job is someone I interviewed for an internship with. But like I ended up not being an actuary and but like yeah, just like different things happened to me at Valpo and that like formed who I was as a person and like I'm very thankful for that experience, but like in hindsight, like the cost of what it was and like yeah, the career center does like an absolutely horrendous job of helping you get a job. And they I there's no way of kind of redecorating that. Like it's the truth. And I've volunteered repeatedly at that university to come in and do mock interviews and like do talks on my Valpo story and like how I found my career and like try to like do different things to like just be part of the school. I was on the Alumni Association board of directors for a few years before I had kids and like I was a very active alumni and it just did not feel like at times they were super appreciative of the people that were coming to help and now you have like my generation, my class, and like this is probably more of a national problem. That just like a lot of them are burdened with debt from these schools and never got the jobs to pay for the school, and like they've got to point a finger to blame somewhere. So fundraising is dipping. So you're trying to kowtow to this larger fundraising group, and you're losing older alumni by some of, like maybe the mascot change, which I would personally think was overblown, and oh man, just weird. Media guy told you graduated in 2007. Oh wow, so like right when I started there. Yeah, Valpo's a small world. It, and like you run into Valpo people everywhere. Yeah, like the dark question I have about Valpo now is like, is Valpo still open if Bryce Drew never hit that shot? And like it's unfortunately true, but like money funnels in from athletics. Valpo had a president for a very large number of years that I respected and worked with a ton, President Heckler. And he focused on the arts while I was on campus there. And the athletics programs were successful on the guidance of, the Drew family. But when the Drews left and you put all these, carts in the arts, like all your eggs into the arts basket, like that's not bringing in revenue for the school. So and then we transitioned to the Missouri Valley, and we've just gotten our ass kicked there, and like we had that period like right before the pandemic started, and now you've got NIL that you have to compete with. It's just I don't know how like a mid-major program succeeds in this modern landscape because it's just everything is stacked against him. Like you just have one person whisper like, "Hey, like Purdue really wants you." You're asked to give the honors breakfast speech. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I used to do like those Valpo like admission network, which I used to give them a ton of feedback. They had me like go to some of the high schools around here, like Andrew, Crest Hill, Tinley Park High School, and like be the representative for Valpo. And these kids would come with questions about Valpo, and there was no training. It was they just like would mail me this box of crap, and I would sit at a table and be like the only non-university representative at some of these things. It's like, well, we have people and they're just too busy. I'm like, well, if you're too busy, then you shouldn't send people there. and not know like what they're doing on your behalf because they're working as an agent of your university. And like at the time I was happy to do it because of just how much I felt like I owed Valpo, not financially but just for all the things like that I had gotten in my life. And but yeah, just a really weird situation of like just sending people to do that. Talk about for like, oh wow, that's kind of hilarious actually. But sounds like it sounds like pretty on par with Valpo. Yeah, I love Valpo too. It's definitely just it's gotten harder to stay connected as the basketball team has gotten worse and worse. Like that used to be like the last thing, the thing that I used to kind of I used to go to games a lot. I'm not that far from the school, and but with the basketball team getting worse, the Matlock era was like at times just super tough to watch. And yeah, now like I just feel like I spend 70% of my time like any Valpo interaction is just people complaining about the mascot change, the law school closing. Like so much has happened since I've left school. And like my father-in-law went to Valpo Law School, and like like that sucks because like there's no alumni situation there. It's just gone, it's just closed. And it was a very similar situation though, I feel like, to some of the other programs at Valpo. It's like they had like the lowest um like bar passing rate of any law school in the country for like a number of years, and they literally did nothing. Oh, a diamond. This is my first diamond pull. What we get? Ooh, Frankie Lindor. Nice. I'll take it. Oh, Alec Peters. Oh man, I loved Alec Peters. I think all of his years he played were after I was a student, but I was still, ooh, another diamond. I was still like going to so many games. Mickey Mantle, shut up. That's a good pull, right? There was 15,000 subs. I don't really like Mickey Mantle that much. Oh, but he's fast and he plays good defense. Let's see, what are the? Hmm, so no, no, there's no order. All right, that's a sign from the universe. Don't sell. Look at all these AL Central packs I have. Cool, I can get a bunch of Cub players here. Well, I mean, these are AL Central. Oh, I keep getting the same East. How did I do that? That's impressive. All right, what is this? Headliners Pack 3. Yeah. What's the Athletic to try to leaves on Monday on Tuesday road because the new contract? Um, yeah, I mean, I had read about that. Sammy Sosa every time. So like, I don't know. I feel like college sports contract extensions are so weird because they're not guaranteed. They probably just gave him the same contract he has. The Charles Little thing is very interesting. I'm very very curious like what is going on there, because yeah, we just did like the whole national search for him. And I I don't think we'll ever hear. And like I do read enough of Paul Oren's stuff. Like he doesn't seem to have any idea what's going on. Like he doesn't know if it's for another opportunity, if like what's going on with Valpo is too much. and Charlesville's not like really, up for that type of challenge. All speculative, but it is super weird that they lost an athletic director that quickly. But then I also feel like, in some regard, like, yeah, he should have fired Matt Loddick way quicker. And Valpo's sports programs are like currently all are awful. Like the baseball team is awful. The softball team is awful. The basketball men's and women's teams were awful. And like Mary Evans has been there, a decent amount of time. And like she's had some bum luck with injuries and stuff, but like her team hasn't been good in a number of years. And yeah, like when I was on campus, like the women's softball team like won the conference like 3 or 4 years. The baseball team was like middle of the pack. We had just started bowling, and like we were nationally ranked in bowling, whatever that means. And like Valpo had started the Bryce Drew era coaching, and that team was just really freaking good. Yeah, the victory bell thing is really weird. And I know there's some people pretty pissed about it because it's like, well, like he wants to get paid, but he also works for the university. And like part of me it felt like that. So the local paper no longer wanted to cover Valpo because like Valpo teams are getting bad. And like the university only has like it's like information athletic information director releasing information. So they don't have anyone that was interested in coverage. So like I don't know, I felt like they should have like paid Paul Oren to do it. So the fact that they're not is kind of weird because then they're just like, oh yeah, cool, do your little thing, like cover Valpo, but yeah, I just feel like it's weird. Let's go check the box scores real quick, see what is going on in the rest of Major League Baseball. Still 16-1 Diamondbacks. Seems like a like a reasonable score. Cleveland's winning 6-0 over Oakland. That's not a surprise either. How did hopeful future Cub Shane Bieber do? 11 strikeouts in 6 innings. That'll play. All right, who's scoring this Diamondbacks game? My God. Zach Gallen, he only threw for 5 innings. I mean, I guess, yeah, why, like, push him? Lois Gurriel Jr. is the only home run in that game off Kyle Freeland. Rest are doubles. Alec Thomas, Moreno. Yeah, not as many hits as in this game as you would think for a game that. Nope, they have 16 hits. I lied. Don't listen to me. I don't know anything. What is the one Rockies run? It's like a single from Ryan McMahon. What's Chris Bryant doing? Over 2. He's 3-3-3-3, so he walked. Yeah, or he got hit by pitch. He got taken out of the game, though. Not like because he's hurt, but. Boston is beating Seattle. It's Logan Gilbert, I'm guessing their opening day starter. No, Luis Castillo, that's right. Oh, he was kind of sloppy. He gave up a home run. Who had a home run off of him? It's probably Devers, right? Yeah, Rafael Devers. This is a silly question. Yeah, it's good that Rogers keeping at least, Schweiger and Stafford. No, no, yeah, Stafford. So we'll see. I mean, I honestly wanted some of those guys to transfer so that he could use the full recruiting time because he got the job so late last year that he didn't really get, a full recruiting schedule. Let's do some collection stuff real quick. And then I might hit the hay. Go get some stubs. Are there any like low-hanging fruit single player modes? Let's see, Conquest. I actually like these showdowns a lot. So I beat both of these, but yeah, I did. Let's see, programs. Other programs. Oh, there's still only the two. Let's see, Team Affinity. Got my NL Central. It don't look like, we're multiplayer missions, player exchanges. I did that. March to October. Tell you one extra base hit. Alright, I'll do that real quick. Hey, welcome Zodo to the chat. Thanks for hopping in. Another Twitch user, cool. Alright, let's see what Grendel's got. See if we can find out this moment really quick. Nope, over that splitter. Nice, alright. Am I supposed to get a double? I gotta look. I don't even remember. Or is it just 2 hits? Because Yasmani Grandal is slow. I gotta get 1 extra base hit, so I gotta get a home run, I guess, basically. Oh. I see it, Curtis. Have a good night. Oh, well. That's what happens when you try, Oh, that went a lot farther than I should have for that. Yeah, Saturday we'll be here. Yeah, it's Kyle Hendricks, my boy. Obviously, I got his jersey hung up over here and what you usually see on the podcast. So, yeah. There we go. Oh, wow. That's quite the post, Mr. Grandal. He's really milking that. Yeah, it does. That's not good enough. Yeah, this isn't the Cardinals. We're not going to see Jordan Walker just like die for no reason at all. There we go. Is he going to get the first base? He has no one's covering. All right. So what's everybody got going on tonight? I just got back from vacation, so I'm pretty relaxed. Haven't been able to, work on some of the show stuff as much as I'd want to, but
been busy living life, so that's kind of cool. Instead of, just sitting and playing video games. Got to touch some grass, as the kids would say. Yeah, still just kind of processing the first loss of the year for the Cubs. Obviously, first game of the year. Just not not fun. All right, let's take a look at our squad. Let's see what we got going on. I usually like to generate the best from the best squad, and then just take a look and make adjustments. Oh wow, we got the all diamonds like really quick in season 1. It's a pretty good group. I like Lazardo on the back end. I think what needs work is my bullpen. I don't know if there's like there are a lot of great bullpen plays out there. I like to build like an all Cub squad, but I'm liking how the podcast team is looking so far. Season 1 reward path. Yeah, just gameplay stuff. 1,000 stubs here. Oh, Ryan Howard's coming. That's pretty cool. Got some Bruce Suter, also a Cub at one point. All right, who's our Cubs hitting captain? Oh, hold on. There's a Braves Dansby Swanson. Ooh, that's gonna be a tough choice. Ooh, man, I love me some Dansby. Kyle Schwarber is interesting. What is this? Damn, that's a lot of power versus righties. Can't hit lefties at all, and he fairly can't play defense. Marte Parte, of course. Ozzie Smith, Jock Jams. I would love to have seen him like with the Braves and like a pearl necklace. That would have been really cool. Just the playoff pearls. Well, I think that's it for me tonight. I'm gonna hit the hay. It's been a good stream. Good to talk out. What's going on in tonight's Cubs game. It's always kind of fun to just you know talk baseball, talk the Cubs. Happy that everyone decided to join. I appreciate each and every one of you that watches and has been able to check out my streams, check out our podcast. If you are seeing this for the first time, kind of check out some of our recordings. Check us out on YouTube, our Bricks Behind the Ivy on YouTube. I'm Candid Cubs on Twitter. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. We'll be trying to do some stuff after Cub games, especially night games this year. Kind of talk some out, talk strategy, talk what we saw in the game, and kind of vent it out. All right, thanks, guys.